Have you ever wondered if the popular view of divorce and remarriage truly reflects what the Bible teaches? Many people see marriage as something disposable, a mere formality that can be undone when things don't go as planned. But what if I told you there's a hidden truth, a deeper perspective that could completely change the way you view these issues? What society promotes isn't always in line with biblical principles, and ignoring this can come at a high cost, emotionally, spiritually, and even within your family. Looking at the writings and teachings of Jesus Christ, we see that marriage is not just a social contract, but a sacred covenant. Many have been led to believe that divorce is always the best solution in times of crisis, but the Bible offers a path to restoration. Are we truly understanding the commitment of marriage in the right way? And when divorce does happen, is there room for remarriage within biblical principles? The answers to these questions can transform not just your view on love, but also the way you build and sustain a lasting relationship. You'll discover how these principles can bring clarity to your life and help you make decisions that shape your future. So if you want to learn more about God's perspective on marriage, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. This helps us share this message with more people who need this understanding. And leave a comment. I want to understand God's plan for marriage. Let's dive into this life-changing truth together. The world sees marriage as a social contract, something that can be dissolved when emotions change. Many believe that love is just a passing feeling and that divorce is the natural solution to any crisis. However, the Bible presents a much deeper concept. Marriage is a sacred covenant, sealed before God. Jesus Christ taught that a man and woman become one flesh, a bond that should not be broken simply out of convenience or momentary frustration. This biblical perspective completely changes the way we view marriage commitments. If marriage is just a human agreement, then breaking it may seem acceptable when difficulties arise. But when we understand that it is a covenant before God, it becomes clear that it involves biblical principles, responsibility, and faithfulness. Just as God remains faithful to his covenant with his people, couples are called to seek restoration, forgiveness, and reconciliation rather than treating divorce as the first option. Today, it's common to hear phrases like, "If you're not happy, just leave," or "follow your heart." But does this mindset truly lead to happiness? Statistics show that many people who divorce don't find the peace they were searching for, only new challenges. On the other hand, couples who face crises with maturity, guided by the teachings of Jesus Christ, build stronger bonds and learn that love is more than just a feeling. It is a conscious decision to fight for their marriage. Many people enter marriage believing that love alone is enough to keep everything in balance, but the reality is different. Marriage requires daily dedication. Love is not just about feeling butterflies in your stomach. It is an active choice to care for, respect, and serve your spouse, even when the initial excitement fades. Jesus Christ compared a husband's love for his wife to his own love for the church, a sacrificial love that requires commitment and perseverance. It's easy to admire someone on good days, but what happens when challenges arise? Exhaustion, financial stress, and personality differences can wear down a relationship if the couple doesn't have a strong foundation. Small daily actions make all the difference. Words of encouragement, sincere apologies, and quality time together. Biblical principles show that love grows through practice. The decision to put your spouse first instead of waiting for them to make you happy. Many couples drift apart because they think love has run out, when in reality, it just hasn't been nurtured. If a plant doesn't receive water, it withers. The same happens in marriage. Restoring love takes effort, but it's worth it. Creating moments of connection, investing in communication, and strengthening intimacy are key to preventing divorce and reinforcing the marriage bond. Love is not a one-time event. It is a continuous process, and those who understand this reap the rewards of a strong and lasting relationship. For many, divorce seems like the only solution when a marriage is in crisis. Pain, disappointment, and years of unresolved conflicts can make anyone feel like there's no hope. However, biblical principles teach that God values reconciliation and forgiveness over separation. Jesus Christ made it clear that while divorce was permitted due to the hardness of the human heart, it was never God's original design for marriage. Restoration is a difficult process, but it carries deep purpose. Many couples face deep wounds, betrayal, lack of communication, and years of built-up resentment. Yet there are countless testimonies of marriages that were restored because they chose to fight rather than give up. The first step is choosing to forgive, not because the other person necessarily deserves it, but because forgiveness frees the one who gives it. This doesn't mean ignoring the problems, but facing them with maturity and faith, seeking wise counsel, honest conversations, and most importantly, God's guidance to rebuild the marriage commitment. Couples who overcome crises learn that true love is not free from difficulties. It grows stronger through them. Restoration doesn't happen overnight, but it begins with small daily decisions to reconnect, rebuild trust, and realign the marriage with biblical principles. Instead of seeing divorce as the only option, we must view marriage as a divine project where commitment outweighs temporary pain. And when both partners are willing to make the effort, what once seemed impossible becomes a powerful testimony that love can be restored. The world teaches that love is an uncontrollable feeling, something that just happens and fades over time. But the truth is, real love isn't based on fleeting emotions. It's a daily decision. According to biblical principles, love is patient, kind, and persevering, qualities that don't appear only when we feel like it, but that must be cultivated intentionally. Jesus Christ demonstrated this kind of love when he gave his life, not because of a passing emotion, but out of choice and commitment. In relationships, waiting until you feel like loving someone can be a dangerous trap. During difficult moments, the decision to keep investing in the marriage is what truly makes the difference. It's like tending to a garden. You can't expect flowers to grow without care. Small daily actions, like expressing gratitude, listening attentively, and avoiding destructive words, create an environment where love can thrive. Strong marriages aren't a matter of luck. They are built through repeated choices to love, even on the hard days. Does this mean love has no emotion? Quite the opposite. Emotions become deeper and more genuine when they are nurtured by the decision to stay committed. Many couples realize that their biggest mistake wasn't losing love, but failing to nourish it. Choosing to love means being patient in disagreements, seeking reconciliation when wounds appear, and investing in restoration when the relationship feels fragile. Because in the end, true love isn't a feeling that comes and goes. It's a foundation that grows stronger with every choice. Starting over after a divorce is a journey filled with emotional and spiritual challenges. Many enter a new marriage thinking that past wounds will simply disappear, but without reflection and growth, the same mistakes can be repeated. The Bible teaches that marriage should not be taken lightly. Every covenant carries responsibility and an understanding of God's purpose for it. Before taking this new step, it's essential to assess whether the heart has truly healed and whether there is the maturity to embrace this commitment according to biblical principles. Marriage is not just another chapter in life. It's a new story built on the lessons learned from the past. That's why, before entering a second union, it's important to ask, am I emotionally and spiritually ready for this commitment? Many skip this step and end up facing the same struggles as before. Seeking guidance in Jesus Christ, learning about forgiveness and self-awareness, and deepening one's understanding of biblical principles are key steps in building a strong relationship that aligns with God's will. Spiritual responsibility in a new marriage extends beyond the couple. It impacts children, family members, and even the surrounding community. A well-grounded relationship inspires others to see marriage as a sacred covenant rather than just a social contract. This commitment requires wisdom, patience, and above all, surrender to God, so that the new marriage is not just an attempt to fix the past, but a living testimony of restoration and reconciliation. Numbers don't lie. Divorce is becoming more common, especially among young couples and those entering a second marriage. But why is this happening? A lack of emotional and spiritual preparation is one of the biggest factors. Many people enter marriage driven by fleeting emotions without truly understanding the depth of their commitment. Without a solid foundation, everyday challenges become overwhelming and separation starts to feel like the only option. What was meant to be a sacred bond falls apart because it was never built on a strong foundation. Studies show that second marriages have an even higher divorce rate than first ones. This happens because unresolved issues from the past are often carried into the new relationship. Pain, fears, and past traumas become silent obstacles that slowly undermine the marriage. Additionally, after experiencing divorce once, there's a tendency to take marriage less seriously the second time, making it more vulnerable to breakdowns. That's why biblical principles emphasize the importance of wisdom and preparation before making lifelong decisions. On the other hand, couples who build their marriage on strong foundations, commitment, forgiveness, faith, and maturity, defy the statistics and experience restored love stories. Marriage is not an experiment where you simply walk away when things get tough. It's a lifelong decision that requires daily investment. And when both partners understand this, marriage becomes more than just a human relationship. It becomes a living testimony of God's grace. Forgiveness is the master key that unlocks doors stuck in any relationship. In marriage, where two imperfect people live together daily, mistakes are inevitable. But what determines the strength of a marriage is not the absence of failure, but the willingness to forgive. Jesus Christ taught that forgiveness is not just an occasional act, but a way of life. After all, how can a marriage be restored if the heart refuses to let go of the past? Many believe that forgiving means forgetting, but that's not entirely true. Forgiveness doesn't erase the memory of pain, but it removes its power to keep hurting. In a relationship, this means choosing reconciliation over resentment, patience over revenge. Those who refuse to forgive build invisible walls that create distance, turning marriage into a burden rather than a blessing. Small actions, like admitting mistakes, offering sincere apologies, and showing real change, help love rise above human flaws. Forgiveness is also an act of faith. Trusting that God can restore what was broken takes courage and humility. A marriage built on forgiveness is strengthened by divine grace, becoming a powerful testimony of true love. Divorce often occurs where forgiveness has been neglected, but those who choose to restore their relationship find that reconciliation brings a surprising renewal of love. And when the heart learns to forgive, it also opens up to a deeper understanding of what it truly means to love. After all this, let me ask you, how do you see marriage? Is it just a social contract, or do you view it as a sacred covenant? The truth is, many people enter marriage without fully understanding the depth of their commitment, and when difficulties arise, divorce seems like the only way out. But now you know that Jesus Christ invites us to see this union differently, as something that can be restored, forgiven, and strengthened through biblical principles. If you've been through a divorce or know someone facing this situation, this is the time to reflect. How can forgiveness and reconciliation change this story? What is holding you back from making choices that align with God's plans? Don't ignore these questions. Every choice we make today shapes our future. Restoration is possible, but it requires commitment and a decision to act. True love isn't about fleeting emotions, it's about daily choices that honor God and strengthen marriage. Now, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment and let me know which part of this message impacted you the most. And if you want to keep learning about biblical principles for marriage, check out this next video on the screen. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss content that can transform lives.